Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tech Money Diaries podcast, where we talk about real tech, real money, and real life. And we're in our Tech Money Diaries, the Pulse Quick Chat series, where we talk about tech and AI, cyber, and the gig economy. We also have mentions of Paywatch as well as takeaways and key takeaways, that is. So, without further ado, we'll just jump right into it. In today's Pulse, we have key updates on, like I've explained, like tech and AI trends. So there has been a report that over half of freelance designers are leveraging AI tools, indicating a significant shift in productivity and creativity while redefining the industry standards and client expectations. This is actually one of our s- news stories where it's pretty much just talking about how small businesses are building big brands faster. So, as a creator myself, it's just giving you some insight on how the design age is basically what they're calling it, the design age of AI. And it goes into some information on starting up your business and as well as just like the rise of generative AI. And it talks about some of the back and forth of design power. And which is pretty interesting, it goes into, and you definitely want to check this information out in our description box. It's going over some of the five frontiers of an AI powered entrepreneurship, which in a sense, I'm giving you this series. So you as a freelancer that's working in the gig economy, that's in tech and AI, even if you're not a freelancer, this information is helpful for you if you're considering entrepreneurship, if you're working from home, whatever. It's definitely something you should be in the know about. So I won't go into detail. This is definitely for you to check out our link that's going to be in the description where you can get the source and go into this particular news story to see how AI tools mirror the creativity journey for every founder. And they just go into like a step-by-step design and building your brand and things of that nature. So definitely check that out. They're also talking about there's a new design ecosystem, different tools that are out there that are accessible for you. Um, you can definitely see what I'm presenting to you today. I'm definitely using Canva in my presentations here, but it's going into more than just that. And then it's talking about AI tools and AI brand systems. And it's going into like the next evolution of small business design. It's pretty interesting if you're an entrepreneur or you're considering being an entrepreneur. So definitely check the link that's in the description regarding our news stories for this episode. So actually, we don't have a cyber alert segment this series. But if you're interested in cyber alert news, please check out our previous episodes where we did include some cyber news in it. We do have a Paywatch story, in this month's Paywatch story. It's actually talking about seasonal jobs where we're pretty much kind of over the seasonal jobs at this point, but this is definitely helpful for the new year. But it's just talking about how jobs have increased significantly. And then it's also reflecting on ongoing demands in various sectors and how uncertainty in job stability continues to challenge workers across the gig economy. All right. And then as far as this news story, it is talking about how logistics roles such as driving and loading contributed to the spike, while retail remained essentially flat, according to looks like Indeed's hiring lab. So this is definitely a great story to check out, especially preparing for what make what it may look like for next year's seasonal roles, since we're actually already through this particular holiday season and we're heading into the new year. But it's just going over seasonal hiring acceleration, like how like the job postings rose above 2024 is giving some statistics on that. It also gives some insight on like the surge in the job postings, and it's going into more so like other information as well as the like the strongest showings of what was stronger when it comes to roles and jobs this particular holiday season. Yeah, so check that story out. Definitely something that you should be in the know about. And we're going to go ahead and talk about the importance of AI adoption. So, according to reports, 85% of business reports enhance efficiency through AI integration, highlighting the necessity for companies to embrace technologies wisely for sustainable growth in the competitive market. Definitely a plus and a must-have in this market. So we talked a little bit about this in the brief introduction, how AI tools are revolutionizing the freelance design workflows, allowing for faster project completion and enhanced creativity. Like it's almost as if you think it, you more than likely can design it to a certain extent. And then the value shift. As AI is improving design capabilities, clients are willing to pay more for innovative solutions and unique styles. So keep that in mind when you're talking about design in general. So design can be like if you're going on Canva and designing something, that type of thing. But check out our news story where it goes into detail regarding AI and freelance design. So AI and the human balance. Productivity tools enhance sales efficiency, automating tasks and allowing teams to focus on building relationships with clients, which is definitely something that is needed. The human touch, it's despite AI advancement, human intuition and creativity remains crucial for understanding customer needs and driving successful sales. You have to understand the human touch when it comes to sales to be productive. And then the seasonal job analysis with the seasonal jobs and it actually being past the season now, they did see an increase in seasonal jobs pretty much, providing temporary opportunities but often lacking long-term security for workers. But hey, it's there when you need it. Then there's uncertainty. So uncertainty, pretty much stability remains uncertain, as many seasonal roles are dependent on fluctuating demands and external economic factors. Economy plays a huge role in what happens season over season. So keep that in mind when you're considering next season's job market and things of that nature. You never know. Some new things may arise in the actual new season. So keep that in mind. So, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Tech Money Diaries, where we talk about real tech, real money, and real life. And in this episode, I do want to go over our key takeaways. So, some of the key takeaways from this episode: freelance designers and web developers, if you are still relying on basic brand identity creation, definitely make sure you are staying where you should be, which is up to date. And when I say up to date, I mean in the know, and make sure you're relying on basic brand identity creations. It's time to level up. AI is making these entry level tasks accessible to everyone. Focusing on strategy, complex problem solving, or leveraging AI tools yourself to evaluate your offering. So this is if even if you're not a freelance designer, you could be a web developer, whatever you are. You could be just getting into the industry because you have the tools available for you to be in the industry. Sales professionals and anyone in client-facing roles embrace AI now. It's not about replacing you, it's about making you significantly more efficient and strategic. Adopt AI tools to eliminate work and focus on high value interactions to boost your revenue per rep. Also, the gig economy workers and freelancers, be savvy about your current job market. See, while the season is already past, opportunities um, popped up then, especially more so in logistics this season. So don't miss them next year for the long-term hiring boom. So use these for short-term gains, but keep an eye on sustained trends for your long-term career planning. Last but not least, whether you're a freelancer or an employer, get smart about your worker classification. Misclassification is a costly trap for businesses and can rob freelancers of vital protection and earning potential. So educate yourself on the FLSA rule to protect your rights and avoid legal headaches. And I do want to really quickly jump into that a little bit more. So, what FLSA misclassification is, it's commonly something that people are misclassified as when it comes to being an employer or a contractor. And in this particular news story, they were talking about how compliance is easy, but employers often fall asleep at the wheel. That's not my words, that's their words. So, with that being said, think about exempt versus non-exempt. Think about employee versus contractor. Think about what it means to be, and even they're going into executive exemptions, administrative exemptions, professional exemptions. This is like very detailed on the exemptions that they're referencing, even outside sales exemptions. So this is something you definitely should take a look at in more detail. We'll put the link in the description. I just wanted to make sure I covered this in this episode. It's also going into timekeeping and pay responsibilities. If employers properly classified an employee as exempt, how that works and things of that nature. Even as it's going into how, if you're non-exempt and things of that nature, how the compensation is different. Yeah, but take a look at this news story so you can understand and avoid the expensive FSLA liability. Without further ado, I'll go ahead and end here. Thank you for tuning in to our episode of Tech Money Diaries podcast, where we talk about real tech, real money, and real life. And thank you for engaging with us and staying up to date. If you want more opportunities, we just finished up on 30 platforms in 30 days, where we discussed 30 platforms. So I'll link that in the description so you can go through and check that out under our playlist. And for inquiries or support, please reach out to techmoneydiaries@gmail.com. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be more than happy to keep in touch. Again, thank you for tuning in. Until next time.